Okay, yo, yo, yo. So we are live. Oh yeah, really. How long is live stream? I think in 10 more minutes. Let's go. You will help EFC. I'm Becky. Welcome. I think Romania will win. Who are you supporting? I think today I will support Netherlands. I think Netherlands will win today, boys. But who I don't know, man. Let's see who will win today. Maybe Netherlands, maybe Romania. Not too sure. So let's see. Let's see who will win. Hey, boy. Can we switch or later? Okay, can later live streaming, alright? Mm.
It's going to be a tough game for Romania. And listen, they've got out the group. It's an achievement in itself. They've topped a really tough group. at the start of the tournament. Coming into the game tonight, they've got nothing to lose really, have they? It's a real achievement for them to be there. I think we'll see them sit in a low block. They'll try and contain the Dutch and they'll let them have possession. They were very sacrificial in possession against the Ukraine. They let the Ukraine have possession in the first game of the tournament. And the Ukraine weren't able to hurt them. Defensively, Romania were very good. The longer they stay in this game, the more chance they've got. For the Dutch, the key is moving the ball quickly, trying to get an early goal, trying to make Romania come out and attack them, play, leave spaces in behind. If that's the case, the Dutch have got the talent and the players to get in behind and score goals. But the longer that this remains 0-0 or that Romania is still in this game, they'll think they've got a chance.
The players just about to make their way out onto the pitch in Munich for this last 16 tie in Euro 2024. A place in the quarter-final awaits for either Romania or the Netherlands. They'll play the winner of Austria and Turkey. They kick off in Leipzig at 8 o'clock this evening. There's commentary of that one as well on 5 Live Sport later on. Remember, you can listen to coverage of Wimbledon on 5 Sports Extra.
I see that.
But now it's time to head to the commentary from Munich. It's Romania against the Netherlands with Paul Robinson and John Akers.
Thank you very much, Kelly. The Allianz Arena is a sea of orange and yellow, a grey day in Munich in Bavaria, but it's been lit up with these colours.
I pull out my pay.
The march to the ground from the orange has been something quite special, as it has been in the lead up to each game so far that they've played. If you want to see more, check out the BBC Sport website and app, by the way, for footage of that as the teams take the field. Romania in all yellow, and as you would expect, the mascots matching their shirts as they hold hands, and it's going to be a change strip for the Netherlands of
We get past Romania today, we've got a real opportunity the side of the draw that we're in, because nobody actually in this whole tournament, apart from Spain and Germany, have really impressed throughout the whole thing thus far. And I think, listen, we're going to lose one of those on Friday night. Spain and Germany play each other. Yeah. So the two strongest teams of the tournament, we're going to lose one on Friday.
Yeah, exactly, which just opens up that side of the draw as well. But there is a chance, should they progress, of course, which is a big caveat given performances so far, that the Netherlands and England could meet in the semi-finals of the competition. But Paul, you've been fancying Romania for a little while now, as you and John were telling us earlier on. What's your thoughts on this game that's taking place in Munich this evening? What's your gut instinct on this one?
Come on, Romania, let's go.
They've got out the group. It's an achievement in itself. They've topped a really tough group at the start of the tournament. Coming into the game tonight, they've got nothing to lose really, have they? It's a real achievement for them to be there. I think we'll see them in a low block. They'll try and contain the Dutch and they'll let them have possession. They were very sacrificial in possession against the Ukraine. They let the Ukraine have possession in the first game of the tournament. And the Ukraine weren't able to hurt them. Defensively, Romania were very good. The longer they stay in this game, the more chance they've got. For the Dutch, the key is moving the ball quickly, trying to get an early goal, trying to make Romania come out and attack them, leave spaces in behind. If that's the case, the Dutch have got the talent and the players to hurt them and score goals.
Yeah, guys, I will be right back.
Remains 0-0, or that Romania is still in this game, they'll think they've got a chance.
The players just about to make their way out onto the pitch in Munich for this last 16 tie in Euro 2024. A place in the quarter-final awaits for either Romania or the Netherlands. They'll play the winner of Austria and Turkey. They kick off in Leipzig at 8 o'clock this evening. There's commentary of that one as well on 5 Live Sport later on. Remember, you can listen to coverage of Wimbledon on 5 Sports Extra. But now it's time to head to the commentary from Munich. It's Romania against the Netherlands with Paul Robinson and John Akers.
Thank you very much, Kelly. The Allianz Arena is a sea of orange and yellow, a grey day in Munich in Bavaria, but it's been lit up with these colours, let me tell you. The march to the ground from the orange has been something quite special, as it has been in the lead up to each game so far that they've played. And if you want to see more, check out the BBC.
In Leipzig at 8 o'clock this evening. There's commentary of that one as well on 5 Live Sport later on. Remember, you can listen to coverage of Wimbledon on 5 Sports Extra. But now it's time to head to the commentary from Munich. It's Romania against the Netherlands with Paul
of the Netherlands here today.
Thank you very much.
And we have all
Kelly,
German officials for this game. Felix Weyer is in charge. Daniel Siebert, the fourth official. And Bastian Danker is the VAR. He's been heavily used 6 times during the group stage. And Scott, we've been talking about the criticism that England players have been receiving and whether it's right or wrong in the build-up to this game. The two main pundits on Dutch television, two great players of the past, Rafael van der Vaart and Pierre van Hooijdonk. And let's say it's a good job of not analysing England, because I'm not sure that our players would like what they've been saying about the Dutch.
I know, you're absolutely right, and you mentioned it to me beforehand when we spoke earlier that, you know, they're absolutely scathing, and the fact that England are complaining about former players saying what they're saying, I mean, if they actually listen to what these former players are saying, wow, I'm not quite sure how they'd react to that. So, no, it goes on everywhere, there's no doubt about it, and even worse. And I think this is a game, you talked about the FIFA rankings, which, you know, doesn't mean anything when it's 11v11, but the bottom line is, think about the odds, and you hear that earlier as well, that Netherlands are meant to be seen, and certainly in their country, to win this and win this pretty easily. I wouldn't be surprised, obviously, if they do. I would be surprised if it was easily.
Well, they've not won a knockout game in the Euros since 2004 in Portugal, when they overcame Sweden in a penalty shootout. In the previous Euros, they went out in the round of 16 against Czechia in Budapest, and that was a rather meek performance after they won all 3 games in Amsterdam during the group stage.
Okay guys, we are back live. Let's go Euro.
But it's all about getting that winning blend, and that has been an issue for Ronald Koeman throughout the tournament. They started slowly against Poland, but eventually prevailed with Wout Weghorst coming off the bench.
Hey yo Mark, how are you doing?
Played well in patches against the French. Maybe were unlucky with the offside decision to rule out the goal from Xavi Simons. And then against Austria, well, they scored twice, but some of the defending was lamentable. Of course, Romania won their group, but all 4 teams were level on points, so you can read into that what you want to. But it's the Netherlands who will get the match underway wearing all dark blue, Romania in all yellow. It is the final day in the round of 16. The winners of this tie will meet Austria or Turkey in Berlin in the quarterfinals. That game coming up live on TalkSport later on. But here, the Dutch looking to attack early on, playing towards their supporters, group behind the goal away to our right. Memphis Depay with the headband, more suitable to Wimbledon than the European Championships, but there's an early foul from him on Marius Marin, and it will be a free kick for Romania.
Oh, but it's a positive start, wasn't it, in the first 30 seconds, and I think sometimes you can just put a real intent out there. You want to be very much on the front foot. And it was actually, we talked about him earlier, Radu Dragoșan is going to have to...
Okay, game is live again.
The Romanians to get through. It was just not realising where Memphis Depay was. And the ball was kept inside, and in the end Romania were able to get it away, but it was, as I say, a start of intent from the Netherlands.
Headed forward by Razvan to Razvan Marin on the far side, but the Romanians just running out of room. And Romania have won only 1 of the previous 14 meetings between these two nations. The Dutch have scored 29 times, and Romania only 3 times. And that victory came during the European qualifiers for Euro 2008. But the Dutch did beat the Romanians in the group stage in that competition. Christian Huntelaar and Robin van Persie were the goal scorers that day, but they don't really have a starting striker of that quality in the squad at the moment, as Verbruggen tries to play out, almost gets caught out by Dennis Mann on the edge of the 6-yard area. As a result, Romania are trying to build on the far side there right now, with Mann looking to take on Ake towards the byline. He's challenged, but Razvan Marin with a cross into the penalty area, looking for Hadji, and Denzel Dumfries with probably a goal-saving challenge to nod the ball away inside the 6-yard box. And eventually, in midfield, Depay has been fouled by Stanciu, but Romania there with a really good opportunity.
Oh, I tell you what a start. We talked about the intent from Netherlands, and suddenly Romania go down the other end and very nearly get a good opportunity. It's a wonderful ball in, great defending from Dumfries. and his elbow actually catches Hadji, who has some blood now coming out of his head, so they'll have to tend to that. But wow, I thought this might be a bit cagey, but it looks, and I hope it continues. You've got two teams who want to try and attack.
2.5 minutes played. Hadji receiving treatment inside the Dutch 6-yard area. Of course, he wears number 10 like his dad did.
No pressure there then.
Well, his father scored in the only match that the Romanians have won in the knockouts of a major tournament. That was when they knocked out Argentina in the round of 16 back in 1994 in Pasadena. The Argentinians had just lost Maradona to a drugs test, and it was the Romanian number 10 Hadji who ran the show that day. Eventually scored what turned out to be the winning goal. And the father of the coach, Eduardo Ordinescu, Angel, was the coach on that day.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're going to try and press high, Romania. And we know that Verbruggen, being at Brighton, is very comfortable on the ball, but he was getting the ball back a couple of times, and one of the touches, I'll tell you what, unbelievable. Dennis Dragos was just a couple of inches away from maybe getting deflection, and then if he had it done, who knows where that would have gone.
And that's something they must have worked on in training, because you know what the Dutch will do, and you know how they could be vulnerable.
Absolutely. And Verbruggen is very good with the ball at his feet, but it just takes one mistake. That's all it does, which obviously can happen to a midfielder, can happen to a striker, can happen to a wide player, and yet it doesn't result in the goal that way. But if a goalkeeper makes that type of mistake, it's a real risk and reward.
Well, Hadji, who is being watched by his father here today, still has a bandage around his head at the moment. They may have to patch him up off the field, so the game is back underway. Romania playing on with 10 players for now, as the Dutch with De Vrij on this near side. Wide to Dumfries, into Memphis Depay. Bergwijn looking to attack the penalty area down the right, but he's offside, and it will be a free kick for Romania. Romania, who finished top of Group E, the group in which all 4 teams finished level on points. They beat Ukraine 3-0. That was enough to eventually win the group. Lost to Belgium 2-0 in what was a tight game, settled by the Belgians late in the day, and then a 1-1 draw with Slovakia ensured that both teams would go through, and the Dutch were third in Group D, beat the Poles, drew with the French, and lost to the Austrians. And Hadji is still receiving treatment behind the goal away to our left, and it looks like they're applying an Ina Sharple style hairnet to his injury. That's one for the teenagers.
Honestly, Nigel, I was just about to say you need to be a certain age. I was going to say Hilda Ogden, but yeah. you got Ratsu, who's got the blue rinse. You got.
Here's a long-range shot fired in for the Netherlands as we continue to discuss Coronation Street, and it was Simons who had the shot from a long way out, and it was a comfortable save for Nitsa.
Yeah, and Hadji with the hairnet. But let's get back to the football. A first shot on target, and you know what? It's worth a pop. I have to say, Simons back in the side, incredibly talented. Wants to try and dominate the game from midfield and get forward as much as possible. It just dipped a bit as well, wasn't it? It's worth a pop from there.
Hadji's back on the field of play. I would imagine there are more Dutch supporters inside the stadium, but the Romanians are the ones generating most of the volume here. They've come with some confidence, and I think there's trepidation for the Dutch on and off the field.
Yeah, and if you look at the Romanian crowd, it's a beautiful sea of yellow, isn't it? It really is. They're really making the noise, really happy to be where they are, really trying to get behind their side, and well, in the first 5 or 6 minutes, they'll be pretty happy with what they've seen.
Okay, with a long ball forward, looking for Bergwijn, but overhit and gathered by Florin Nitsa, who will be 37 years of age tomorrow. 6.5 minutes played. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. And Nitsa comes outside his penalty area, under no real pressure to clear the ball away. The long ball downfield headed away by De Vrij, but now Hadji on this near side, the Romanian left, and he's got the opportunity to break forward. Has Dragosan down the centre. Razvan Marin also made the run, and in the end it was covered well by Nathan Ake. But these runners from midfield for Romania are causing the Netherlands 1 or 2 headaches at the moment.
Yeah, it's a great run from Hadji, isn't it? best time on his left foot, but he is two-footed. The way he just glided past the players. You know, Romania really feel they can win this game, and if they do start positive, which they have, and if they are able to get that first goal, with this atmosphere and the crowd behind them at the moment, this could be another historic night.
A challenge on this near side. And the Romanian main striker, Denis Dragus, one of the players in the team and in the squad who came through the Georgi Hagi Academy, which has really helped to reinvigorate Romanian football in recent years. They were unbeaten in qualification, conceding only 5 times in 10 games. But this is also a club or a team who are relegated into League C of the Nations League coming up. So there will really be a return to reality for them when the European season gets back underway in September, as Stanciu hooks it wide to this near side, straight out of play. It's a wonderful story what you were saying about what Georgi Hagi's done. I mean, you know, to do that and to give that amount back to Romanian football, no matter how much you're worth, £10 million is a lot of money. Well, the Dutch play a crossfield ball wide to the far side, which is cut out by Mann. He's got support on the outside from Ratsu, and Van Dijk has to come across, does well to avoid conceding the corner, but Romania have a long throw potentially on the far side, and again it was Ratsu with the blue rinse who was getting forward, and that came from a poor crossfield ball from the Dutch. 9 minutes played, 0-0. Stanciu by the corner flag on the far side. Gakpo makes the challenge, and it will be another throw-in for Romania, who have started this game very well. Ratsu into the penalty area for Razvan Marin on this near side. Plays it back outside the penalty area. The cross is delivered in, a stooping header away from Virgil van Dijk, and now nodded forward by Bergwijn, who is the 4th different player Ronald Koeman has used wide on the right-hand side in the tournament. And there's an opportunity for Mogosh, the player who's come into the side today, really coming back from the cold to get forward. And now Stanciu for Romania down their left. And the more controlled football has come from Ordinescu's side in the opening stages. Borca wide towards the far side again, and it slipped in towards Razvan Marin on the edge of the penalty area. Man in support, and eventually Yuri Schouten will try and bring the ball clear, almost gives it away to Stanciu. There was a miscommunication at the back there between De Vrij and Verbruggen until the goalkeeper hammers the ball into touch on the far side, and the Romanian fans here are really sensing something.
Been a brilliant start for Romania, really has, very much on the front foot. The Netherlands in the first 30 seconds showed what they wanted to do. They haven't really attacked the goal at all since then. Very impressive, and the Netherlands need to get hold of the ball, just control the tempo of the game.
Schouten plays it forward now to Reinders, who's got room midway inside the Dutch half, flicked on by Simons for Depay, but it's cleared away initially by Dragusan, and now Depay inside the penalty area. The shot to the near post is blocked well by Nitsa, but the flag was raised and he was offside.
Do you know what, that's actually brilliant defensive play. Everyone saw the run from Depay and they were in the line. I'm just looking at a replay now, and you can see they knew exactly where he was, half a yard offside. Don't panic, realise that you were, and of course with VAR nowadays, you know if he is offside he will be absolutely given. Back in my day you needed to be 100% sure, but yeah, really good defensive play from Romania, but first time really since that Javi Simons shot on target the Netherlands have troubled Romania in any way.
11 minutes played, the final match in the round of 16. Live from Leipzig on TalkSport, 8 o'clock kickoff. Austria against Turkey. And these two sides and those two sides are potential opponents for England later on in the competition, should things go the Three Lions' way. And we'll join Hugh Wozencroft and the team in Leipzig as soon as this game finishes, and of course we could have extra time and penalties.
We've got a very nervy Saturday evening to go through before we start thinking about the semi.
I mean, people were discussing who England would play should they beat Slovakia, and that wasn't very straightforward, was it?
To say the least.
And this hasn't been straightforward for the Dutch so far, as Dragusan of Spurs has it for Romania. 15 yards inside their own half. 12 minutes played in Munich. 0-0. Hadji and Mogosh will chase a long diagonal ball forward down this near side, but it's overhit. But the Netherlands will have a defensive throw-in. And it's the Dutch's first visit to this particular stadium. Although, of course, they've won the Euros and lost a World Cup final in Munich in the past. Depay heads in field with a good recovery challenge from Marish Marin, and it's guided all the way back to Nitsa. And the Dutch not really sparking as an attacking unit. Of course, they always play that 4-3-3 formation. Simons at the heart of midfield, but he'll always try and get forward. Shouting, if anything, is the more defensive-minded player. With Depay as the false nine in terms of stature, although not his goal-scoring record. 4 behind Robin van Persie. Here's a chase into the penalty area now for Draguš for Romania. The ball just strikes him on the heel. Another simple ball forward, which nearly caught the Dutch out.
Great ball in behind. And again, we've seen lots of countries, including England, just pass, everything in front. Romania look like they wanted to try and get in behind if they possibly can.
And the Romanians coming forward again now. On the far side with Mann. Cut square with the penalty area. Left foot shot from him, not too far over the top. And again, Dennis Mann had so much time there to bring that ball in field from the touchline all the way up towards the D. No one laid a glove on him, and the shot was just too high.
Yeah, and as he gets the ball, it's Cody Gakpo who comes close to him. Not the defensive ability, obviously, of Nathan Aki. Allows him to come inside, and by then he's already on a run, got some momentum. I'll tell you what, that wasn't a million miles over, was it?
De Vrij finding his inter-teammate Dumfries. Wide towards this near side and Schouten. Bergwijn's in space for the Netherlands down the right. Good recovery challenge though from Marish Marin. Bergwijn has gone down. It was a forceful challenge from Marin, but Felix Vaya, the judge, got the ball cleanly, and I think he's right.
Do you know what? It's a great challenge. In today's game, that could easily be given as a foul, but there's not many
times. He did rather launch himself.
Well, he did. He kind of jumped off his feet, but by the time he actually made contact with the ball, he did get the ball. And there's not many tackles nowadays. You can get ball and man and get away with it.
Depay looking to jink his way into the penalty area down the right-hand side, but he overruns it, and it's a goal kick.
And Bergwijn's still struggling with that as well. I can tell you, Nigel, from a defensive point of view, if you can put in a really meaty tackle, win the ball, hurt the man a little bit, but in a very legal way, of course, you come up thinking yes. And Steven Bergwijn will think twice about trying to take him on.
Nitsa clears long downfield, but straight out of play. And it will be a throw-in for the Netherlands. Terrific atmosphere inside the stadium in Munich at the moment. The Romanians are seeing their team coming to play here, and they've responded to that.
I don't want to speak too early, but Ollie asked me, you know, what type of game do you see? And I thought it might be quite cagey at the beginning. This, for me, is the best first 15 minutes of the round of 16. Let's see how it develops.
Now Simons on the far side. He could yet turn out to be the key player for the Netherlands. Slip forward to Depay. And back in field to Milan's Tiani Reinders. Bergwijn. And now De Vrij down the line for Dumfries. Dumfries, though, is covered by Hadji. Hadji believes it should be a goal kick, but a corner's been given to the Dutch.
No, but he's done well, though, Hadji, coming back, because Dumfries had pushed on, the ball was in behind him, and yet he still somehow found a way. It's definitely a corner. You can't complain about that, but good defending from your wide player.
Depay will take the corner kick. Down the Dutch right-hand side. 16 minutes played. 0-0 in Munich. Depay's delivery, it was a good one. De Vrij was challenging for it, but it's headed behind inside the 6-yard area by Borka, and it will be another corner here for the Netherlands. And Depay will try again with another outswinger. And it's very deep, looking for Ake, who got something on that. It comes back out towards Depay, who under pressure manages to keep the ball in play, skies the ball into the 6-yard box, but it's claimed by Nitsa, who quickly looks to play it forward, looking for the pace of Dennis Mann on the far side, but it's covered well by Shouter.
Worth a go, though. Worth a go. Again, we haven't seen that enough, where goalkeepers catch a ball and looking to try and counter really, really quickly. And if that had gone through, it would have been in the final third to have a one-on-one with the last defender.
Now Simons down the left-hand side, challenged by Dragusan. And it will be another Dutch corner. Good spell for them with 17 minutes played, but it's still 0-0 on TalkSport.
I think what we're seeing is both teams trying to be very much on the front foot and not afraid to have a reasonably high line. It's not a stupidly high line, but then the opposition side is looking to play the ball over the top. So we're seeing quite an end-to-end game at the moment, which we haven't seen much in the Euros.
An in-swinger this time from Depay. Cleared away at the near post by Dragus. But here is Simons now. Slip forward to Ake. Down the left. Back out towards Depay, the corner taker. His cross whipped in is blocked, but the Dutch regain possession with Reinders, who scored his first international goal in the warm-up game against Scotland. Now Dumfries. Running Simons on the left. Xavi Simons, of course, his parent club is Paris Saint-Germain, but he had such a good season on loan with Leipzig and did really well with PSV before that. 27 goals and 19 assists in 2 seasons out on loan, and you would imagine with Mbappe now gone, he will now get his opportunity.
Chance to step up, isn't it? It's a massive hole that Mbappe is going to lose both on and off the pitch. Can he somehow help fill the void?
Now Gakpo coming in field, fires in the shot. Oh, he scored! Cody Gakpo catching out Nietzsche at the near post, and against the run of play, the Netherlands have taken the lead. Cody Gakpo's 3rd goal of the tournament, and really that should have been kept out by Florin Nietzsche. Romania have made all the running, but it's the Dutch who strike first. Romania 0, the Netherlands 1.
Well, it's heartbreaking for the Romanians because it is against the run of play. They've been very much on the front foot, but that is the danger of allowing someone to come inside. And he does. He comes inside, Ratsu. No one really comes across, certainly not to stop the shot. And then it's about, right, do you let it go through in between yourself and the near post? And Nitsa gets a touch. He gets fingers on it. He's got to be stronger. He should be keeping that down. It is a mistake from the goalkeeper, but look, let's give credit to Cody Gakpo. They've been very much under pressure in the game so far, but he was allowed a bit of time, and he certainly hit the target there. That's all you can try and ask him to do.
Now Hadji goes for goal himself, goes to the near post as well in response at the other end, but it's dragged wide. Well, Cody Gakpo scored 3 times at the World Cup in Qatar. And that's his 3rd goal of the tournament here. 6 in 10 overall in major tournaments for the Netherlands.
Yeah, it's not a bad ratio, that, is it? When you're talking about the very highest level. But what I would say is, again, from a defensive point of view, so disappointing. Ratsu cannot allow him to come inside. Someone then has to come across, and it was too late. And then you got your goalkeeper. You're relying on him to keep that shot out. Credit to Gakpo, but it's a really poor goal to concede, especially when you're on top. And you are underdogs going into this game, and you've started so well.
Well, that may settle the Dutch down. 21 minutes played. Although we have seen a number of teams come from behind to win in the round of 16. And here is an opportunity for Dumfries to break forward now down the right. The cross in towards the far post is hammered away by Ratsu, but he rather shanked the clearance, and it's behind for a corner kick to the Netherlands.
Well, they've just got to be careful, Romania. They don't lose their heads and concede a second. This is not a classic Netherlands side, but if they go 2-0 up, can't see them allowing Romania to come back into it.
21 minutes played on TalkSport. Romania 0, the Netherlands 1. Felix Vaya is just sorting out some holding between Gakpo and Mariusz Marin. Depay with the corner, high to the far post, headed away unchallenged, and then Hadji volleys clear. And Romania did come from behind to get the point which won the group against Slovakia. And maybe a slightly different proposition here. Depay on this near side. And the challenge from Marius Mari, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. And we're watching on the monitor again. The goal from Gakpo. Struck it well, but the goalkeeper had a good look at it.
Look, again, let's give credit to Gakpo. He ran with intent, and again, we've seen lots of players for lots of countries in these Euros just get into that wide position, then just pass it back. No, as soon as he got the ball, you could see what he wanted to do, running at the right back with intent. You just can't allow him to come inside. It's what these inverted wide players want to do. Not only does it get on their better foot, but also it opens up the goal.
And the Dutch now have only failed to score twice in their last 38 games, and they were both against the French, including the group stage and also qualification. Hadji, though, coming forward now for Romania. Slip wide towards Stanciu. He pulls it back towards the edge of the penalty area. Dennis Mann with the shot. And in the end, he was challenged by Van Dijk as he hit it, and the ball spins behind.
It's a good response, isn't it, from Romania? Getting into the box, cutting the ball back. And yes, the right thing to do. Man comes off the wing. It's actually, Van Dijk was there, but it was Nathan Ake who engaged with him. And sometimes what you see with Van Dijk, he wants to be so cool and look everything as if he's playing on his tempo, but he should be the one getting close as possible. Good defending from Ake.
24 minutes played. Euro Game Day live on TalkSport. The Dutch leading the Romanians by 1-0. And if it stays like this, they'll be heading to Berlin for a quarter-final against Austria or Turkey, who meet live on TalkSport in Leipzig later on this evening. Romania started the game the better, but it's the Dutch who have the lead. Now Reinders coming forward again. Schouten. Wide to Dumfries on this near side. And the Dutch have not really had too much control in any of the games they played so far, but they've got the opportunity here to really calm things down and play the game at their tempo. Now Schouten. Bunning Dumfries, who's challenged by Hadji, and it's back towards De Vrij again.
It's interesting, you know, we're watching obviously with our eyes, and our eyes are telling us that Romania have started better, yet if you look at the stats in terms of shots on target and shots off target, then it's even possession. It's the Netherlands who seem to be having the better of it, but no, the intensity came from Romania. First goal very important.
Now De Vrij coming forward, wide towards the right-hand side, and Dumfries, the corner, or the cross is over the head of Depay. Reinders fires in the shot, which will take a deflection and spin behind by the corner flag on the far side for a Dutch corner.
No, it's good play, good defensive play, and brave from Ragusin as well. We saw exactly what Reinders did, got the first touch. He's just waiting that split second for it to come back down, which allows Ragusin to close down as much as possible. Stayed big. Could easily have been 2-0.
Another Netherlands corner here. Flighted in by Depay. De Vrij with the header, and it ripples the outside of the netting. Well, Stefan De Vrij arriving unmarked at the far post. He's not scored for the Dutch since 2015, but he should have done there.
Well, it's a simple ball to the far post, isn't it? And Bork has lost him completely. And if you're at one side of this stadium, you think that's gone in. But it's hit the side netting. Unfortunately for the Dutch, it's the wrong side.
Oldanescu in conversation with Hadji on this near side. Nitsa, the goalkeeper, was just flexing a couple of muscles there, and he does seem to be just feeling the small of his back as he prepares to take the goal kick. Right-footed, long up towards the halfway line. Rising is De Vrij, and his downward header finds Bergwijn. Depay makes the run in behind. The challenge comes in from Dragusin, and that was an all-or-nothing challenge inside the penalty area, but he won the ball, and it's a corner. But had he not timed that right, it would have been a penalty and a red card.
All or nothing, perfect description. He's inside the box. He's running at it. He's almost got to come round Depay. So once you decide that you're going to dive for this particular tackle and for the ball, you have to win it 100%.
Depay with the corner kick. Flicked away at the near post. Simons all the way back to the halfway line. And Dumfries. If you've just joined us on Talk Sport, the Netherlands leading by a goal to nil. Cody Gakpo firing the Dutch ahead. He's now the joint highest scorer at this European Championships, along with Mikatadze, Musiala and Schranz. And now Bergwijn has been dumped on his pants on this near side by Dragus, and it will be a free kick for the Netherlands, which is much better than a corner kick on this near side.
Yeah, you don't really want your centre forward coming back. It shows how much he wants to try and help out his team defensively, but they need to just keep their heads at the moment, Romania. After that goal, Netherlands very much on top. If they're able to get the second, they take full control of this match. While it's still 1-0, Romania very much in the game.
28 minutes played. The Dutch scenting a second. Depay with the free kick. High to the far post, headed away initially by Marius Marin. Now Schouten back to the halfway line. And Dumfries. And among European players, only Kylian Mbappe has scored more goals across the last World Cup and this Euros than Cody Gakpo. And in terms of Dutch players scoring 3 times in a Euros, Gakpo has joined the likes of Van Basten, Bergkamp, Kluivert, Van Nistelrooy, and surprisingly perhaps Wijnaldum, who scored 3 times in the previous tournament. Now Dumfries coming forward again for the Dutch, cuts it back down the right-hand side. Stanciu, though, was there to send the ball behind for another corner, and at the moment the Romanians, who started the game so well, have got a bit of a problem because the Dutch are getting forward in the wide areas very easily, particularly on this near side.
Yeah, it's amazing how goals do change games and change the psychology of it. The Netherlands very much on the back foot, but once that goal's come, giving them confidence. Now it's Romania making sure they don't concede that second. They need to get hold of the ball themselves in the way that Netherlands about 10 minutes ago needed to.
Depay with another corner, headed away at the near post by Dragusin. Now Simons as we approach the half hour, and the Dutch now in control of the game, leading by a goal to nil, looking to win their first knockout game for 20 years at a European Championships. Simons on this near side had the opportunity to go back to De Vrij, but instead goes all the way back to Verbruggen. And you're listening to Euro Game Day live on Talk Sport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. And there are spells in the game at the moment where Romania can't really get a kick.
It's clever play from the Dutch. They're 1-0 up, and they're just keeping the ball and passing around them.
Simons now down the left-hand side, finding the goal scorer Gakpo. Schouten quickly on towards Reinders, midway inside the Romanian half. Lovely ball forward to find Dumfries, and the ball back across the 6-yard area was heading into the path of Depay, who would have had a tap-in. But Dragusin with a brilliant challenge at a corner, but it was so nearly a second goal.
Oh, that's as good as a goal. It really is. It's a simple tap-in for Memphis Depay. If the ball did come to him 6 yards out, what a tackle. And from a defensive point of view, when you're facing your own goal and you're stretching like that, you're thinking, please don't go in. That is a wonderful challenge and a very brave one as well from Dragusin.
Depay will take the corner kick on this near side. And Romania really hanging on at the moment. It's nodded down by Van Dijk, away from goal, but he's been penalised anyway, and it will be a free kick for Romania, who just need to regroup here mentally as much as anything else, as Romania do have a free kick and they try and play out, and it's the Dutch who are quickly pressing on them. And there's a free kick given on this near side, is it? No, I think it's been stopped due to a clash of heads, and it's Dumfries who is down along with Mogos, and Mogos looks to be in some trouble.
Yeah, Dumfries has come in. He's trying to get as tight as possible, but he's definitely caught Mogos. The initial worry is, did he catch him in the head?
No, it was in the windpipe, I think.
It was. It was. The way that the two clashed, it looked like it could have been a clash of heads. And leaving the windpipe was painful enough. But again, now it shows how much the Dutch are on the front foot, you know, even without the ball. I made a note of that Ragusan clearance because honestly, that is as good as a goal. It's an amazing clearance. It's a really brave one. 2-0. It'll be tough for Romania to come back from.
But it was a really good Dutch move, and that's the sort of way that Ronald Koeman wants them to play, getting the fullbacks forward, getting them running in behind, and the pace of Dumfries is causing so many issues at the moment.
Absolutely, and at times he's playing like a wide player, and Nathan Ake is just tucking round, so there's Ake, the Van Dijk and De Vrij, almost as a back three. Obviously got Gakpo on one side and Bergwijn as well, but Denzel Dumfries is just bombing on down that right-hand side as much as he possibly can, and after the first 20 minutes up until that goal, Dutch on the back foot. It's been complete turnaround since then.
Well, Mogosh is still receiving treatment. He seemed to be struggling with a shortage of breath following the clash.
I'll be honest with you, Nigel, the way he was like sort of waving and so dramatically at the bench, I'm thinking he's fine. You don't do that if you're really hurt. It was painful, of course, but not if you're really hurt.
Well, there was a twirl of the fingers from a member of the medical team suggesting that they may have to make a change, but we'll wait and see. 33 minutes played on TalkSport. Romania 0, the Netherlands 1. Don't forget, 5 p.m. on Saturday in Dusseldorf, England against Switzerland, and 2 fairly tasty games coming up on Friday. 5 o'clock, Spain against Germany. 8 o'clock, Portugal against France. There'll be some big names going out of the competition on Friday night, and England, of course, in action on Saturday.
Brilliant, isn't it? What games we've got coming up.
And now Simons. The Netherlands looking to also play on Saturday as the high cross into the area is headed away initially, returned by Schouten, but Hadji is there to clear the ball away. Now Dragus, so again is very deep on this near side. 3 Dutch shirts around him, and in the end Dragus runs it out of play, and it will be a throw-in for the Netherlands, who are really hunting impacts very effectively at the moment.
Yeah, Dragus is quite often coming down on the left-hand side. I think he needs to stay up a bit more.
Dumfries swings in the cross, met by Ratsu at the far post. Now Van Dijk steps in, and support from Ake. Van Dijk was just clipped there by Dragus, but play continues. Verbruggen, fully 30 yards from his goal, has plenty of time to pick out De Vrij on this near side. Slip forward by Bergwijn for Dumfries again, and another good challenge for Marius Marin. And once again, he took his participation in the game in his hands there, because he dived in with both feet off the ground, but by the time he'd landed, he got to Dumfries just in time.
He did, and he kind of heeled the ball, didn't he? Which goes to show the angle he'd come in at. You've got to be very, very careful with that, but I have to say he's really trying to protect his back four as much as possible in this 4-1-4-1 formation.
Bogdan Rakovitsan will be coming on for Romania, presumably to replace Mogosh after that earlier clash with Dumfries. He's a player with very little international experience behind him, plays for Kraków in Poland. And Mogosh, who has waited so long to play in a major tournament, has lasted barely half an hour. That's unlucky for him.
Yeah, I still can't work out whether he's hit a bit of his head there, but a clash of heads. And they're thinking they've got to be careful. Well, don't get me wrong, that's obviously painful coming in at the pace he has. If it's the chest, do you think you'd be able to get over that? Just wonder whether they're thinking there's a bit of a head clash in there as well.
Rakovitsan will be winning only his 4th cap. He's not played any part in the Euro so far, rather like Mogosh before today.
Want sun protection for oily, acne-prone skin? Hero Star Anti-Acne UV Fluid with SPF.
Technically, in terms of how much Dumfries was bombing on down the right, and the ball was playing inside the fullback.
Now Depay, wide towards the left-hand side, and Simons quickly onto Gakpo, pulls it back, but Marius Marin is there. The clearance though from Ratsu, and he finds Ake. Now Simons. 37 minutes played on TalkSport. Romania 0, the Netherlands 1. And at the moment, the Netherlands are firmly in control of this game. And having started the game so poorly, they wouldn't be flattered by a second goal before half-time.
No, since the goal, they've completely dominated this game. And you're right, Romania on the back foot.
Now Depay brings a long ball down inside the area under pressure from Dragusan, who did just enough, and Borka is able to hack the ball away, and Romania will make the change now. Bogdan Rakovic-San will be coming on to replace the stricken Vasile Mogos.
And what I like from a neutral point of view is that both teams are quite happy to go long at times. Yeah, okay, you need a team to be pushed up a little bit to be able to do that. You think if teams are dropping off, then you should be able to just pass through the thirds. But the fact that both these defences are pushed up a bit, it makes an exciting game because they're quite happy to go long. It was good defending in the end. Memphis Depay was almost in.
Well, the Romanians are down to their third choice left back. Hey, but at least they've got three left backs to pick from.
I was going to say, we know how important that position is, Nige.
Here is Depay on this near side, spinning away from Rakovic, and his first involvement. Depay pings it across the penalty area. It's cleared as far as Reinders. Reinders looks to check onto his right foot, but he finds Simons. Simons, though, has two yellow shirts around him, but he's beyond Ratsu, and he tries to Robona the ball into the penalty area. Manages to execute that, but Stanciu heads it behind for a corner. Yeah,
but don't. I know it all looks flash and looks great, but you actually haven't really put in a great cross there. Initial great skill from Memphis Depay, but once Simons gets to the byline,
he's done that for clicks, hasn't he?
He's done it for clicks, but it's not beating the first man. You know, and if you look up and you put the right ball in, you're 2-0, you're in absolute control of the game. Stop trying to be flash, be effective.
Simons will now take the corner. I don't think he'll be trying to Rabona this. Simons' delivery is high towards Depay, fisted cleared by Ratsu, who'd been crowded out there by one or two Dutch players, but no free kick given. And Dumfries will go all the way back to Verbruggen, who has had very little to do since the goal scored by Cody Gakpo after 20 minutes. Now Ake, forward down the left, just slips momentarily. Down the line for Simons. Maybe Simons again. Always looks to pull off a trick, but he has had an end product at club level in Germany this season. Reinders swings a good ball wide to this near side. Dumfries able to bring the ball down on his chest. And coming back to make the challenge is Borka to support Rakovic-San, who has only just come on, and he's had a torrid time. Nicely done by the Dutch again as Bergwijn plays it wide to this near side. The cross is dug out by Dumfries, cleared as far as Schouten. Depay beaten to it by Dragusan in the air. Van Dijk was then caught by Dragus. Van Dijk is down, but play continues. Here is Simons looking to cut square with the penalty area. Finds the fair-haired Schouten. On again towards Bergwijn. Dumfries back towards Bergwijn again. Schouten looking to make that burst into the penalty area, but he's held up by the Romanians. But here is Depay on the half turn. Tries to find Dumfries, and it's cut out by Rakovic-San, and it will be a throw-in for the Dutch. And it seems already that Rakovic-San has gone into the middle, and Borka has come wide to this near side.
Yeah, good defending as well. He's left Depay, realised where the danger was once Depay laid it off. And they're really effective down this right-hand side. Nathan Ake, not your natural bombing on left back, but Dumfries certainly is.
Dumfries coming forward again now, and he's won another corner. Corner number 9. Number 10, I should say, for the Dutch in this first half.
And do you know what now? 1-0 for Romania is a good result at half-time.
Absolutely.
Don't concede the goal just before the break, because if you do, I can't see them coming back so much on the front foot. Been very impressed with the Dutch since they've scored that goal. And they obviously want to try and go in at the break 2-0. Massive 4, 5, 6 minutes to come.
42 minutes played on Chalk Sport. Romania 0, the Netherlands 1. Felix Vaya once again is sorting one or two things out inside the penalty area. Depay pings in the corner. I think he was going for goal there. He hit that with the outside of his right foot from the right. and he swings it straight over the top.
Well, now I think they're almost trying to find it. Well, they're finding it a bit too easy, and they're being complacent, and they have to be careful. If they keep the foot on the gas, there's every chance they can make this 2-0, and then for me it's almost game over. While it's 1-0 and they're being a little bit cocky, little Rabonas here outside of the right foot from a corner. You're not going to score in that way, and they haven't on either of those situations. It's exactly what Romania want.
And it will also wind up the opposition unnecessarily.
Well, yes. I mean, the Netherlands are very much on the front foot. They're the better side. I'm trying not to use Lionel Messi as an example, because obviously he's a gift from God. I don't ever remember him doing a Rabona. It's all about being effective.
Not at 1-0 anyway.
I don't remember. I covered Barcelona in Spanish football for 4 years. I covered every single Barcelona game. I don't remember him doing it once. Scored quite a few goals and made quite a few assists, but he never did that. Be effective, not flash.
Rakovic-San on this near side. Oh, he loses out to Dumfries. As he tries to allow the ball to Shepherd behind, it comes back to Xavi Simons. His right foot shot is dragged wide. Well, we saw the Rabona from him before, but it took an age there to get the ball out of his feet there, Xavi Simons, and in the end, the shot was off target.
Yeah, but it's poor defending, just trying to allow the ball to go out. And Denzel Dumfries has been brilliant in this first half, he really has. He's won the ball back, he's played to Xavi Simons, who's got the ball, and I've got a little bit of sympathy for him, because his first touch is not perfect. He's trying to get the ball down, and to be fair to the Romanian defence, they've got to him close. First of all, it's Ragosan, and then it's Marin, and by the time those two have got in there, never really got the ball under control.
And we're into the final minute of the first half, and Eduard Ordinescu looks like a coach who wants to hear that whistle sooner rather than later, because Romania have been given a real chasing here in the last 25 minutes or so. The Dutch have had 8 attempts on goal and the Romanians 3. And the Dutch possession now is heading towards 70%.
Yeah, the problem for Romania is that even when they were on top, they weren't really testing Verbruggen. You know, a shot just over and nearly put him under pressure when he was passing out from the back, but they hadn't really had I can't think of a shot to save, even when they were on top. Now even more so, they're on the back foot. Can't even get close to him.
Van Dijk swings a ball wide to the far side for Ake. Now it's been won back inside the Netherlands half. We're into a minimum of 3 more minutes, but Marius Marin is penalised for the challenge on Simons, and it will be an opportunity for the Netherlands to maybe build one more attack before half-time. And the Romanian supporters, who were in great voice the first 15 minutes or so, now look rather pensive, because their team is still in the game, but it's been a difficult watch for them.
Yes, it has. It's all changed in that goal, really, wasn't it? You were absolutely spot on saying it was against the run of play. Really came from nowhere. Since then, you can see the body language of the Dutch just lift up, chest out. Romanian shoulders just drop a little.
Dreadful ball forward here from Van Dijk, straight to Hadji. Here is Dragus now for Romania inside the penalty area. He cuts in field, goes a long way, fires in the shot, it's straight at Verbruggen. But we talked about the complacency, and that was a mistake from Virgil van Dijk, which gave the Romanians the opportunity.
Yeah, it was a mistake, and it is down to complacency. All too easy for the Dutch. And they're certainly capable of playing that way. But Dragus, when he had that one-on-one situation, again, I know the defender wanted him down the left-hand side, but go there because you would have had a one-on-one situation with the keeper instead of coming inside. All the players coming across to defend. It was a poor shot in the end, very weak shot, off balance.
Rakovica. There's a long ball forward. Ratsu, the fullback, is one of the furthest players forward. Now a backheader from the Dutch almost allows him in, where we saw him have a great opportunity against Belgium to equalise, and once again the blue-head right back was heavily advanced.
I'll tell you what, in the first half, the fullbacks especially, up against Lokobakio and Doku, were very much under pressure. Second half, the two wingers were very quiet, so I would expect Romania to come out strong in the second half. They've shown they have the character. The question is, can they get hold of the ball? Not able to do that at the moment.
Van Dijk, a high ball forward again, looking for the goal scorer Gakpo, but it's cleared away. And Romania will try and build on the far side. Ratsu does well to keep the ball in play. Jabs it down the line for Razvan Marin. And now Mann, who's got time to turn and swing a high ball wide to this near side. Hadji brings it down on his chest. He can now advance towards the edge of the penalty area. He pulls in a decent looking cross, and in the end Van Dijk has to concede Romania's first corner.
Yeah, great crossfield ball, and it comes to Hadji. Just wanting to get in the box and have a go at his defender. Take Dumfries the other way. He wasn't able to do that, and the ball was a little bit behind the Romanian forwards, but what a moment this could be right on half-time.
Final action of the first half. Hadji will take the corner for Romania. He delivers an outswinger high into the box, and Van Dijk is there to head the ball out straight back towards Hadji. He curls in a good-looking cross towards the far post. There's a Romanian player down, clutching their face, and Bergwijn will jab it off Borka. It's out of play. But Romania finishing the first half in decent fashion as the half-time whistle goes. Well, one or two Romanians holding their heads there because they know they had a really good chance to equalise, and that came after a period of almost total Dutch domination, following the goal from Cody Gakpo after 20 minutes, driving in, catching out Florin Nitsa at the near post, and really the Dutch should have built on that. We saw some brilliant defending from Radu Dragusan to prevent Depay tapping in to make it 2-0. The Dutch have had so many other opportunities, but at half-time in Munich, this round of 16 tie is still in the balance. It is Romania 0, the Netherlands 1.
Nigel, thank you. The Netherlands ahead then at half-time in Munich on TalkSport. They're currently heading through to the quarter-finals, but a very entertaining first half. The Dutch looking dangerous, but Romania bringing the fight as well. Scott Minto, how important was it for the Dutch to take the lead? It came about 18 minutes into the game, because before that they had been second best.
They had, Ollie, they really had, and I was so impressed with the way that Romania came out, you know, and showed their initial intent without really testing Verbruggen. But the Dutch were under pressure. They weren't able to keep the ball. They were playing in the Dutch half, and you just felt that as time went on, or certainly if someone said to you, you know, who's going to score here, it would be the Romanians. So it was absolutely crucial that it was Cody Gakpo who stepped up and got the goal. I do think it was poor defending on 1, 2, 3 occasions, 2 defenders and the goalkeeper. But since then, I think the Dutch have been superb. You talk about moments. That moment, the goal, certainly changed the complexion of the game, but Dragusan's clearance on the half-hour mark. If this was 2-0, no matter how hard Romania would try, I don't see them coming back from it. 1-0, they're still very much in the game, and just in the last couple of minutes before half-time, they showed they're still very much in it. They've got character, and, you know, the Dutch may well have to score a second.
That was a huge moment though, wasn't it? That clearance from Dragusan just after the half-hour mark. But it's been that right-hand side, hasn't it? It's been so dangerous for the Dutch. Denzel Dumfries getting forward and being a real nuisance, and that's where that chance came from.
He's been brilliant. Again, since the goal, they've been able to control the tempo of the game, and when Nathan Ake's not bombing on, and he's sometimes tucking round, which is allowing Denzel Dumfries to go on down that right-hand side. Steven Bergwijn is coming in a little bit more. And to be fair to the fullback, whoever's playing at that particular time, and obviously we're going to change a fullback with the player coming off, Mogosh, you know, he doesn't know where to stick or twist. the ball inside the centre-half and the full-back is the one on all the time, because Dumfries has the athletic capacity to get up and down, and he's never given up. He's put good balls in, he's attacked really well. But you're right, my goodness me, I mean, Memphis Depay has got, what is it, 47 goals now, I think, for his country. He's only 3 off the record from Robin van Persie. He wouldn't have scored an easier one to make it 48 if Dragosan hadn't have made that clearance. And because of that, we still very much have a game in our hands.
Well, Scott, I was about to say, if you're in that Romanian dressing room right now, how happy are you that it's only 1-0? Because despite the fact that the Dutch have come forward on so many occasions, they've had 8 shots at goal already in that first half. Romania, when they have come forward, have been really direct. And at times, Nigel mentioned it in commentary, the Netherlands have looked a bit complacent, a bit shaky and a bit nervous at the back.
Absolutely. I think it's just pure complacency. It's almost too easy. We talked about the Rabona from Simons. We talked about Memphis Depay trying to, from a corner, the outside of his foot, almost trying to score from there. Come on, get that second goal, even get that third, put the game to bed, then you can start playing that way. But it's still one thing for forwards to be a little bit complacent. It's another thing for your defenders to be complacent. And you don't expect that from your captain either. And it just takes one mistake. And I tell you what, Romania, not only back in the game, but again, the psychology of the game completely changes. The Dutch on the back foot, the Romanians on the front foot.
Scott, by the way, what looks more stylish, Memphis Depay's headband or Yanis Hadji's hairnet?
Well, I personally would prefer not to go with either. And I certainly wouldn't go for Andre Ratsu's blue rinse either. But, you know, you have to say Hadji's had that forced upon him. He's had that cut at the top of his head. But